In the inside of the Ferrari, the Porsche trying to come back at James Collado.
Bonjour à toutes et à tous, il est 16h40.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is 4:40 on September 18th, 2020, on the eve of the 88th edition of the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Le Mans in September, of course, because of the reasons you are well aware of. The traditional press conference of the ACO will, of course, be special, and you will discover a special agenda with Pierre Fillon, President of ACO. Hello, Jean-Marc. Hello, everyone. We will take off our masks. Of course, we will comply with social distancing and barrier gestures. And usually this conference takes place in front of hundreds of guests, partners, journalists. But this is not the case this year, and we're going to follow a strict protocol. This press conference will take place here behind closed doors, and the teams and the fans will not, as usual, be in town during the parade. The program was completely disrupted. It was disrupted, but not cancelled, and that's what counts. Of course, this is really sad for us to have had to organize the 24 hours under these circumstances, but they will take place, and this is what counts, and the cars will be on track tomorrow at 2:30. It will be a great success. We are sure of this. So now this is a press conference. We have some information and announcements to make. You will discover the WEC timeline for 2021, the dates of the races, the formats, circuits, and we will have a large sequence dedicated to the top category. You will learn everything about the new regulations, and of course we will reveal the name of this new top category at Le Mans and WEC. Le Mans is all about innovation, and there's a hydrogen challenge which is already well underway. You will hear all about this, and there's also a brand new partner in this agenda, and we'll explain how you can follow us remotely for this 80th edition. So we are here with Pierre Fillon, President of ACO, and Richard Mille, the President of the Endurance Commission of FIA. We also are here with Gérard Neveu, Director General of WEC, and John Doonan, President of IMSA, and we are very happy to have you here with us from the US. It's not easy to travel right now, so hello everyone. So we have a full and beautiful agenda, and without any further ado, let's open our first chapter on the future of the elite of endurance racing. We are gathered here for an important moment, the revelation of the name of the top endurance category, which will soon gather the elite of the discipline on both sides of the Atlantic, with the contenders fighting for victory. Pierre Fillon, it is high time we unveil the name of this top class in the WEC and at Le Mans. Well, Marc, the top category at the 24 hours and the WEC, which will open a new era, will be Hypercar. Hypercar. So that is the first piece of information. Of course, it's no real surprise, but who will be eligible to belong to this Hypercar category? This is a unique category, and LMH cars and LMDH cars will be eligible. I'm sure we'll come back to that later on. Yes, absolutely. At the beginning of 2021, the first hypercars will appear. Richard Mille, do we know these cars yet? Well, everyone knows that Toyota very quickly confirmed its commitment. It's an important commitment. It's a major player in the car manufacturing world. And actually, in spite of the COVID crisis, Toyota stick to its roadmap and will be there. Of course, there will be other contenders. Glickenhaus and Baikonur will be there, which is very good, and others will come, and Pierre actually will tell us a piece of good news that is much awaited. Yes, of course, because of course we always have big announcements to make at Le Mans.
Et en effet, il y a quelques heures à peine, Peugeot a annoncé.
Yes, indeed. A few hours ago, Peugeot announced its ambitious endurance program. It's coming back in the discipline in 2022 with a Hypercar, and we have Carlos Tavares, chairman of the PSA Group Management Board, who will be the project leader and will announce the start of the race at 2:30. And another important name announced it would take part in the 2021 race. Yes, it's Alpine, and we're very happy because Alpine already has a great experience at Le Mans. Alpine has already won the Le Mans race. But aside from this, it's very important for us that brands stemming from the auto sport are there. And the fact Alpine will be part of the 2021 season, which we could call a transition season, is important because it's probably going to trigger a very important and ambitious program for Alpine. So I think it's an important step. We will have a grandfathering happening for Toyota, Peugeot, and Alpine next year. So this is excellent news. And it's only a beginning. Yes, absolutely, we hope. Now we have LMDH cars, which will come a bit later in the same category. Once again, it's a great opportunity to join the endurance elite and to race in IMSA and at WEC. You are the president of IMSA, John Doonan. This category is really important today, right?
Well, since the announcement of the IMSA and ACO convergence back at Daytona in January, and the opportunity for a competitor to enter the same car at both the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship and the FIA World Endurance Championship, we have received and responded to many specific questions from prestigious automakers. We've also had those same automakers very involved in the development of the LMDH regulations, and I think all of us are very encouraged and confident that as we announce the final regulations today, it will bring more names to the table. Certainly the top level of endurance sports car racing has now a very clear, tangible, and very bright future. Certainly, this is quite frankly very good news in this difficult global context.
Yes, absolutely. It's a great piece of news. John Doonan was telling you that a few months after this partnership was made official, we now have the final regulation of LMDH. It's a feat that was made possible thanks to the ACO and IMSA technical teams with Thierry Bouvet and Matthew Curdock. And those two men will tell you everything about the new regulations.
I don't know. What about this one?
ACO and IMSA, with Matt, who is here, have worked on the LMDH technical regulations. Just as a reminder, there will be a common framework with the LMP2 2023. 4 manufacturer chassis, Dallara, Ligier, Multimatic, and Oreca, will work on these cars. And the performance levels will be a weight at 1,030 kilograms, combined power output of 500 kilowatts, downforce of 4, drag of 1.
The general dimensions of the LMDH platform are a 2-meter maximum width, a 5.1 meter maximum length, and a common wheelbase for all cars of 3.15 meters. The aerodynamic regulations promote enhanced upper body styling, which allows manufacturers to bring their identity to the LMDH platform. Coupled with the enhanced upper body styling is a controlled underfloor, which allows for an efficiency of 4 on the total platform. The power unit is a 500 kilowatt combined power output. This is both the internal combustion engine and the hybrid system.
ACO and IMSA are proud to announce that the hybrid propelling group will be made of the hybrid system by Bosch and Williams Advanced Engineering, and also a gearbox by Extract, and Matt will give you more details on these components.
ACO and IMSA have led a collaborative effort along with the 4 chassis constructors and the 3 hybrid powertrain suppliers to come up with a common LMDH solution. Starting with the motor and gearbox, here we have the Bosch motor integrated directly with the Extract gearbox. Moving on to the power electronics and battery, here we have the Williams Advanced Engineering battery and DC power integrated with the Bosch motor controller. This is all in a compact assembly which installs from underneath the survival cell in an isolated compartment from the driver.
Now, what about costs? First of all, the framework. Without the bodywork, the engine, or the hybrid system, it will be capped at 345,000 euros. Second, the hybrid system. The mean cost per season per car will be lower than 300,000 euros. For this calculation, we used a team of 2 cars with aid and support. So in the end, we reckon that the total cost of the car without the engine will reach 1 million euros, and we're convinced that it's a great product.
Pierre Fillon, John Dunant, that's quite a high pace, and 9 months after the announcement of Daytona, we have the final regulation for the LMDH in September. Yes, and I think this demonstrates effective work in collaboration between ACO and IMSA, and actually we should have announced this in June had we not had the health crisis. John?
Well, I think the efficiency of the process is a further reflection of the importance of this collaboration between IMSA and the ACO and the future of endurance sports car racing. To have the same car be able to run at Daytona and at Le Mans is an expectation of all of our manufacturer partners. And can you only imagine how this is going to make our fans feel?
Okay, so that's very clear for the regulation, but now the question on all of our lips, John Dunant, is, and I'm going to ask you, do you have any candidates, any manufacturers for this LMDH?
Well, as you can imagine, I'm not able to make any spectacular announcements today, but I can tell you that over the last many months, since the announcement of this convergence, the interest from a significant number of manufacturers, over a dozen in fact, and a significant number of whom have been involved in the development of the LMDH regulations, has certainly been important to continuing the process. Many of those manufacturers are working directly with the 4 approved chassis constructors, Dallara, Ligier, Multimatic, and Orica. But unfortunately, not able to make any specific announcements today. We'll leave that to the auto manufacturer partners.
J'aurais essayé. Pierre Fillon, le règlement dit 2022 à partir de quand?
I tried. Pierre Fillon, the 2022 regulation, when should we expect this? Well, the COVID crisis slowed us down somewhat, as it did many people, but we think that this LMDH can be relieved during the 2022 season. I don't know whether it will be before or after Le Mans. It's difficult to say, but in any case, that will be up to the manufacturers to set out their roadmap. Thank you very much, Mr. Fillon, for those explanations. Thank you very much. That's the future for the top class for endurance. It's very bright, that's for sure. So now for the next series at Le Mans and the WEC, because we're going to hear about that now for 2021.
Avec Gérard Neveu, le directeur général.
We are with Gérard Neveu, Director General of WEC, World Endurance Championship, and we are now starting a very important chapter that everyone is following with a lot of eagerness. So you are going to unveil the 2021 WEC timeline under these strange circumstances. Yes, indeed, strange and very unusual circumstances. And because of the situation, we have learned mentioned that we have to learn how to work differently. So we do talk about a temporary timeline, but we try to be as realistic as possible for 2021, but we never know. We might have a last-minute change. Nevertheless, it should be more or less close to what you're going to discover now. 2021 is now. 2021 is season 9 of the WEC, so we start where WEC started in 2012. All of our friends in the US follow this closely. We have the 1,000 miles of Sebring on 19th of March. Of course, if we can go to the US in March. If not, we already have a plan B with an event in Europe at the end of March or beginning of April. It will be a 6-hour event. Then we'll stay in Europe for the 6 hours of Spa-Francorchamps on May 1st, 2021, on this very special circuit for us. It is the perfect place to prepare for the main event of the season, the 24 hours of Le Mans, of course, which should take place on June 12th and 13th. And we hope that the spectators will be able to come because we miss them a lot. And then in July, we will have the Hypercar and the 6 hours of Monza on July 18th, 2021. Then in August, we will take the paddock and sail for Asia. We will find a Toyota for the 6 hours of Fuji on 26th of September 2021, if possible, of course. And then lastly, we will go to Bahrain on the 20th of November 2021 for the 6 hours of Bahrain. So a night and day race, a sort of super finale of the season. So that's for the agenda. There should be 6 races. You know that the season is shorter than the usual seasons, and they will take place from March to November. That will be the case also in the future. And we will have 6 races because we have to take into account the economic difficulties. We have to take this into consideration. I'd like to insist on something. Is this calendar approved? Very good question. Yes, it has been approved thanks to our FIA France. It was presented to our Richard Mille and the Endurance Commission, and it is now approved for a season 2021. No clash whatsoever with IMSA so far. That's it for WEC. Now, what about ELMS, European Endurance? Another championship which is dear to the ACO heart. We have a lot of contenders of ELMS in the paddock today. We will have to wait a few days. In 3 weeks, it will be presented in Monza during the 4 hours of Monza in ELMS. I tried to get information. Thank you very much, Gérard Neveu. We are eager to be there. And Bahrain is the last destination, yes, on 14th of November for a super finale as every year. With the last appearance of Toyota TS050, so make sure to be there. So endurance racing is about championships, races, and men and women who make the story of the event. And we have a trophy that is given every year to honor a great character, the Spirit of Le Mans. So who is the Spirit of Le Mans 2021? When you're Italian and you are called Ferrari, can you do anything else than auto race? Amato, when he was a child, watched the 24 hours of Le Mans on TV, and he would imagine himself on the track. That was so famous. And today, the AF course team manager is 3 times the winner of the 24 hours of Le Mans in LMGT Pro category. His team won in 2012, 14 and 19 with Ferraris each time. And he came to Le Mans for the first time in 2007. He was part of the endurance of the European and Asian Le Mans series that World Championship and raced with professional pilots. This year, Amato Ferrari is in Le Mans and at the head of the endurance trophy, LMGTEM. And his formula to win it all is to share, to be confident and to be humble. And he is very proud of being part of this adventure. So is it a cliche to be called Ferrari and to be a racer? No, it's a rather philosophy, a state of mind. Amato Ferrari is the Spirit of the Mans 2020 after Patrick Dempsey, who was on a Ferrari in 2009 for his first participation in Le Mans.
You can perhaps begin by reminding us what's behind this code name. Well, Mission H24 is a project that was launched by the ACO and Green GT and enables a zero-emission competition thanks to hydrogen electric prototypes that only discharge water. H24 for 24 Hours of Le Mans 2024 is, and H2 for hydrogen or dihydrogen for specialists. Our objective is to create a dedicated category dedicated to hydrogen electric prototypes. It's always been part of ACO's DNA to enable mobility for all, and today, zero-emission mobility. And I think that, Richard, you have something important to add to that. Yes, because this project is very ambitious. It's a great project. Sure that hydrogen is a major factor. We have collaborated with a company that will lead to greater performance, that will enable us to make energy savings, and with technical developments as well that will not only be promising developments, but obviously will also have an impact on the automotive industry generally speaking. So the 24 Hours of Le Mans has always been a development lab, if you will, but this development is absolutely part of the H24.
Comme on va le voir avec vous, François Granet, bonjour. Vous êtes du côté de Maison Blanche avec ceux qui relèvent ce défi, et non plus une, mais deux voitures. Expliquez-nous.
Yes, thank you very much, Mark. Thank you, Pierre. I'm here just a few meters away from you in the Mission H24 building. We're at the heart of the operation here. We're here with the two engineers who have been taking care of these cars. We have Jean-Michel Boresh, who is head of ops for Mission 24 and also part of the main team for H24 racing. And we also have Norman Nato, who's the test driver.
Alors, s'il vous plaît, Norman, Jean-Michel.
Okay, please. Can you present this vehicle, unveil this H24? Jean-Michel, can you describe the technological developments that have been made, and what are the improvements that have been made as it relates to the LMP H2G? Well, as you can see, this is a new car. We have a greater cooling of the powertrain. This was designed by ADES, and under the cover, a lot of development work has been done with new engines. So we have 2 engines instead of 4. We have a battery that is equipped with new SAFT cells. We have a fuel cell with new bipolar plates that are made by Symbio. And then we also have an electronic braking system as well. So, but overall, we have lost 150 kilos, which means that it has a weight that is similar to a Grand Touring, in fact. Thank you very much, Jean-Michel. That's great. Norman, what are you expecting from these improvements, and which improvements are the most important for this H24? Well, as Jean-Michel has just said, 150 kilos, that's a huge step forward. The weight is the enemy for motor racing, and with this we have lost 150. So this is one of the main developments. This was very important for this car. There was lots of different technologies that we've had to work on, but we wanted to really emphasize the weight. Great, Jean-Michel, new car, but also a new color as well. Yes, that's right.
Partenaire qui sont Total et Michelin.
Our partners are Total and Michelin, or the first hour of the who are our partners rather, and we are very happy to have them. They're very passionate about automotive competitions.
Automobile, Plasticomium, qui va avoir l'opportunité de développer
the possibility to develop a 700-bar engine. Okay, so what will be happening over the next few months? What are you going to be doing? Well, at the end of August, we started a huge test program which will continue until January. At the end of this program, we will be capable to outline the sports program for 2021. H24 hydrogen vehicle, as you heard, it's a very important partnership for this project, working alongside Total, Michelin and Symbio. And now we'll hear from our president, Christian
global du stockage d'énergie dans les véhicules.
Our DNA is about innovation and performance. We believe in hydrogen, and we have invested more than 200 million in this technology over the last 5 years. The mission of H24 is in line with our strategy and is in line with our values and illustrates our vision of the future. A hydrogen tank is an extremely complex component. It needs to be able to store high pressure gas, 700 bars. It also needs to be in a composite and plastic materials as well. And for this project, we have developed products that have been subjected to extreme conditions. Safety, performance, the weight are of course the key factors for this competition, but also in the other series vehicles as well. Mission H24 is a testing ground for us, for our current technologies, but also for our future innovations.
Alors, on l'a déjà évoqué, mais on le rappelle, Pierre Fillon.
Well, we already mentioned this, but Pierre Fillon, for the first time in history, the 24 Hours of Le Mans is going to be taking place without spectators. And you've emphasized the means for watching the competition remotely. Yes, that's right, for all the spectators that can't be here. So it will be aired on France 3. 18 hours live will be broadcast, and on other TV channels as well. On social media, of course, you will be able to find all information relevant to the event, and you can watch the race live with all of the rankings, highlights, extracts. And this year we have a new platform, a new website for an immersive, unprecedented experience. Our spectators, the people watching us, will on one hand be able to follow the quiz with 360-degree cameras located in different areas, and they will be able to post and explain to us how they're experiencing the 24 Hours of Le Mans with their friends and family. And they will also be able to help medical professions in their fight against COVID-19, and you'll be able to find this at 24hunited.com. Thank you very much. And so you can see this on your TVs, on your phones, on your tablets. You can catch every moment of this race. So this is a very special press conference, and during that during this press conference, you've heard about the top class, the WEC, the Hypercar that will be available next year, and you also heard the first details of the technical regulations for the LMDH. We also went through the 2021 WEC timeline. We discussed to bring in Bahrain and also the event in Monza with the H24 mission. You saw the new prototypes, the hydrogen prototypes, as well as their new partner Plasticonium, and also Amato Ferrari, who is the winner of the Le Spirit of Le Mans trophy for 2020.
Let's come back to the 2020 edition and the weekend race. It's later in the year, so that changes things, right? Yes, absolutely. It brings a lot of suspense to the edition. The temperature on track, the difference between the temperature at night and during the day will have an impact on the whole strategy. And this shows that this edition will be be filled with surprises. And Carlos Navarrete tomorrow at 2:30 will launch the race. Don't forget, 2:30. It's not the usual time. Absolutely. Take good note of this. Thank you so much, Pierre Fillon. Thank you also to Gérard Neveu, John Donan. Thank you to all of you for having followed this press conference. And please take note that tomorrow the start is at 2:30. Thank you very much and good evening.
In the inside of the Ferrari, the Porsche trying to come